snowstorm. Antarctica.
Ice. Scientists are penguins.
Antarctica, they're opening the abyss.
So a new discovery. Antarctica.
Advanced Antarctica.
Climate crisis. Penguins.
Penguins and time travel. Basil, I have a pair of stories for you that is going to hopefully blow your mind.
Huzzah!
All right, the first one is from thesun.com. Always a great rag.
Okay.
And the headline, I'm a time traveler from the year 3000. A deadly new virus is going to be discovered this month. I think it was supposed to be in Antarctica. But let's see. A self-proclaimed time traveler from the year 3000 has claimed scientists will discover a deadly new virus this month. TikToker.
Gons, this is so annoying. Time travelers, they tell us not to do things like this. And some of my colleagues, they cannot help themselves. They cannot help themselves.
It's the whole, these types of things. It's a Chris Shilzilla problem. You know, you do something, really you say you shouldn't do it. It's the 101, but then they do it. You know,
it's dangerous, man. There's time cops for this. This is, somebody's going to get in big trouble, going to have to pay out some serious time currency fines.
Yeah. So
I learned my lesson early.
TikToker at Time Traveler 300. I thought he was from 3000. Maybe he ran out of characters. Also pushed the baseless theory that experiments at the research facility CERN would cause more bizarre events.
The baseless theory. Can you believe they have to put that in here?
Yeah. What's the hyperlink to? Another the Sun article. Yeah,
baseless theory.
Yeah.
You know, they have to put it in there because people would take it seriously otherwise.
I know. In a far-fetched clip, the so-called time traveler wrote, quote, November 2022, scientists uncover a deadly virus that originates in Antarctica. Okay.
It's a little off because we've reported on that before.
Yeah, we have, but there's a different one, Basil.
Okay.
Now, I want to point out what is taking place in Antarctica right now. UPI.com, and this is reported all over the place. National Science Foundation stops travel to Antarctica amid COVID-19 outbreak.
Yeah, we mentioned this last episode.
Yeah, they're shutting it down. Nobody's going in or out of Antarctica right now, Basil, in the month of November.
Right.
So do you think there's this time traveler is saying he's giving away the plot a little bit? Because why? It's just an interesting coincidence that this guy would say November there's going to be a deadly virus that originates in Antarctica, and Antarctica just so happens to be
locking it down.
In a lockdown.
They're locking
years
it down.
After the rest of the world locked down. Suddenly, Antarctica's in lockdown because of COVID.
Yeah, we were talking about how strange that was. How suddenly, after the whole world is kind of over COVID, suddenly there's like a big outbreak in Antarctica.
Yeah, and then we had the Jacinda, go down there and get stuck and all that, and just a lot of interesting things going on. There's just more to come, Basil. 2023 is going to be quite the year, according to this guy. January 2023, CERN continues more experiments causing more bizarre events, Mandela effects, and alien contact. Wow, the whole shebang. Mandela effect and the alien contact, all in 1 month. And then by March,
to get a lot of it over with.
That's for sure. Yeah, it's just ripped the Band-Aid off. March 2023, the war between Ukraine and Russia will end, but a new one will begin across the sea.
Well, that one's easy to get. What do you mean across the sea? That's how much detail he gives?
Yeah, which sea? Are we talking about the Atlantic? Or are we talking about the Mediterranean? What sea?
Yeah, across the sea from Russia and Ukraine, the only sea
I'm trying to remember. The Black
Russia
Sea?
touches is the Antarctic Sea. Yeah, the Antarctic Ocean and the Black Sea. Yeah, but he said sea, so maybe it is the Black Sea. That would be Turkey, I think.
What about the Sea of Azov?
I did not know there was one of those.
I think there is here.
Wow.
Well, anyway.
I did not learn that in high school geography.
Time traveler, be more specific. And then, okay, if the users weren't lapping up the bizarre claims, quote, well, it's like the users here. Well, it's not that hard to predict different places, made up problems, one user wrote.
Not buying it, huh?
Does time travel ever become available for public use? Quipped one follower. Do you have next week's Powerball numbers for me? Joked a second.
Nice. The only difference is, that's a good point, because somehow, against all odds, we have predicted the most astounding things over our 10-year career now. Sometimes not so astounding. Sometimes they were obvious to us and just not others. But who knows? Luckily, we don't have to wait for too long to see if this guy's right about something. I did see another person make a prediction about November 18th.
Ooh,
that something
soon.
will happen November 18th. So I did make a Twitter reminder about that. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, there you go. We'll see. We don't have to wait too long to find out if any of this is true. But yeah, time traveler from the year 3000. All right.
Okay, wonderful.
Yep. One more quick note. Because it's all sort of converging, or for some reason, once we identify a topic, I don't know, maybe it's that effect where, you see a different car or something, all of a sudden you see the car all over. I forget what it's called. What's that phenomenon called?
I forget as well.
Okay, well, this is somewhat of an Afrofuturism thing here.
Jody, what shall we do?
In the context, sorry. I apologize. In the context of Antarctica here, this is NPR news, not NPR, but NPR. And the headline, The Call of Antarctica, how a Rochester, Minnesota man became first black man on the continent. Oh, okay. Now, get this. In his life, George W. Gibbs Jr. had been a Rochester, Minnesota resident, World War II vet, civil rights activist, IBM company employee, interesting, and small business owner. But one of his most exciting adventures was being shipmate and fellow explorer on Admiral Richard Byrd's third expedition to Antarctica, a role that would make him the first person of African descent to step foot on the continent. He kept diaries, and those diaries are fodder for a new book by his daughter. So yeah, okay, so this is a book thing, but I don't know. How do you know that you're the first African descent to ever step foot on Antarctica?
Oh, you mean the Wakandans? Maybe the Wakandans got down there before him?
So is this guy, what's his name's dad or whatever, who was looking for vibranium in Antarctica?
So he went down with Admiral Byrd? Is that what I heard?
That's what it said. Yep. He was a fellow shipmate with Admiral Byrd.
That is interesting. But there were explorers down there during the time that there probably could have been some slaves on the ship too, helping cross the seas. Well, I don't know about that.
Maybe he's the first free man.
Story. It's a cool story.
Well, and we've been pointing out the building of the mythology of Antarctica, and I feel like this is another one of those things, and it's using the race context to write a book and all that. But
yeah, right.
But that's all narrative crafting. Remember, narrative's more important than facts.
It's true.
According to the Alt Woke Manifesto. So, this is an example. Well, I'm not saying that it's untrue, but we don't know. How do we know for sure that he was the first black man on Antarctica?
Well, and the point is that it doesn't matter if he was or he wasn't factually. It's the narrative that matters.
Narrative, which, by the way, YouTube Shorts, you know what YouTube's focusing on moving into the future?
Shorts?
Yes, but there's a specific thing.
No. What is it?
Storytelling.
Oh.
Storytelling is the future of the internet. It's like, okay.
That's interesting.
That's a throwback, isn't it? I thought that was like maybe they're recycling some old stuff, I
wonder what that means. They're just like tired of TikTok dances and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, no, don't just do a little dance. Tell a story.
Well, it's narrative crafting, but they're calling it storytelling because
we got to start editing some YouTube shorts and get a YouTube channel.
Or fifth one, or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
All right. Wonderful.